What is up, Pokemon trainers? Rox is back again with a different type of video today. We're trying something new. We're doing a toy review, as if you looked in the title, you obviously know we're looking at the Z Power Crystal by Tomy Toys. So we're just gonna set this down and take a look. So, of course, it comes with a Z Power Ring. It comes with a Mimikyu Z Crystal, a Lycanroc Z Crystal, and a little Mimikyu figure. But I don't like Mimikyu, so we're getting rid of that. And focusing just on the toy. Now, we're actually going to put this to the side because we're going to be comparing it to its predecessor, the old Z Ring, which came with the Firium, the Gracium, and the Waterium Z. So we're going to use these 5 Z crystals to just mess around with the Z Rings. And show you guys some of the functionalities. So, before we actually get into the Z Rings, we're going to look at the crystals themselves. Obviously, there is a difference between them. So for the purpose of this video, this will be a Z crystal, and I refer to this as a Z Power Crystal. So looking at the back front, obviously it's just a regular diamond shape. At the back, there's actually 3 little prongs with a little metal receivers that correspond on both Z rings, as you can see there and there. Looking at the back of a Z Power Crystal, however, it's a little different. It's actually more circular. If you can get a good look. Let's see if we get a better look on Mimikyu. As you can see, there's actually 5 prongs on this one. Basically, think about it as a plus symbol, because on the Z Power Crystal, it goes both vertical and horizontal. And we will be showing that off. So, moving on to the rings, obviously there's a main difference. One is black and this one is white. Shout out to Generation 4, you guys. The top arrow is the exact same, however the symbol for these crystal is different. I don't know if you can tell from here, but it actually sinks a little bit. That helps hold the Z crystal in place. However, because this one rotates the top, like so, if you can see, it rotates. Yep. It cannot sink at all, so it actually sticks out more than I would like, but I can't complain because it's just meant there to hold it. Speaking of holding, on the side, we've got hold parts. These ones are different. They are meant to hold Z Power Crystals. This one is not. However, this one can still hold a regular Z Crystal. A note of caution for this camera is turning everywhere. Because I guess of how the design is, for quality control, some of these fit fine. Some of them are very, very loose, like this one, and some of them, like this one right here, is very, very tight. I made the mistake of putting in my Lycanroc Z into this crystal just to test it out, and it would not come out. It ended up breaking the Z crystal. It wasn't too bad, it was just part of the bottom broke. I was able to fix it with some crazy glue, but a word of caution for that. Moving on, to activate the Z crystal, you simply push the button. For this one, it was right under here. For here, it's at the side. Pushing both. Only one goes off, and I'm going to show you why in a minute. Because this one comes with what I absolutely love, is a power switch. Flips, lights up. That was the one big problem with the regular Z-Ring. It did not have a power switch. So, this one does. I can turn it on and off at will, which I love so much. Moving on, pushing them at the exact same time, we're going to see the different lights. And believe it or not, it's the exact same vibration, the exact same lights. However, this one goes off slightly faster, even though I pushed it at relatively the same time. Ooh, that's a mouthful. Moving on, we're going to be putting in a Z crystal into both. So we're going to take, since it's the holiday season, and I'm celebrating Christmas, we got green and red. I'm going to put them in on 3, 2, 1. Once again, this one goes off a little faster. And then we're going to press them at the same time. 3, 2, 1. For a regular Z move, it's the exact same. Yeah, the colors and lights are different depending on the crystal. So, that's about it for similarities. This is where the differences come in. On the front, there is a 2 lines is roleplay mode, and the 1 line is in-game mode. For this one, we're going to switch from in-game mode to now roleplay mode, because there's a little functionality. If I take out the Z crystal and I give it a shake, lights up. This one does not light up with motion. You can do it as many times as you want when there's no crystal. It'll just be white. If I put in the Gracium Z now and give it a shake, 1, 2, obviously it lights up with the emblem. If I do it 5 times, it now does a Z move, which is cool. So you can, playing with your friends, you can do a Z pose, whatever you want, and it'll do the Z move. So that's... Take out that. We're now going to move on to the Z Power Crystal. So to show you what it looks like with a regular one on the side, it's like that. Or the regular Z Crystal, it'll fit just like that, easy. We now have the Lycanroc Z. We're going to line it up, put it in, and we're going to see what happens in 3, 2, 1. It does a little, charging noise, which is cool, so we'll take these off. And in this mode, if we just do the Z Crystal, it'll do all the lights and sounds, but it will not light up the emblem, because when you put pressure and rotate it, that's when it lights up and does the noises. So this is with Lycanroc Z, and we're going to push the button. And so it's basically the exact same now, but it's vertical, yeah, it's vertical. I get this confused sometimes. So that is it for the toy purposes. You can also do the motion sensor 5 times, and it'll do it. Now, sometimes, or only on sometimes, when you do it vertically, there you go. When you turn it that way, it'll do, I guess, incorrect Z move, where it'll do, a little, and it'll light up red like that. Sometimes it'll light up green, and it'll just say, oh, incorrect Z move. It is noted that you can take the crystal out when it's in the vertical position, and you can sort of put a regular Z crystal in. It's very, very tight. It can come out at any moment because there's a spring, as you can see, and if you try and do a Z move, it'll just light up normally without the emblem lighting up. So that is it for... So now, before we switch into my DS showing the in-game stuff, if you hold the Z Power button, the little light at the bottom of this will light up. That is for the Japanese arcade machine, which we don't have in North America, so we can't play it. So just turn it back on and off again. It's in game mode, and we can move all our stuff to the side and get our DS out. So, got my DS here. Starting off, we got a Z crystal to the side. If, say, we have no Z crystal in it, and we go and use Firium Z, and we equip it to our Solgaleo, it lights up red for fire. If we now put in the Firium Z as such, and equip it again, it lights up with the emblem. If we put in the correct Z crystal, if we put Lycanroc Z in, and we go all the way down to where the Z crystal is, all the way at the bottom, and now we equip it, it lights up with no sound, which would be what happens if you put an incorrect Z crystal in. But if you rotate it, and do it again, it lights up with the emblem. So now, in the old Sun and Moon game, that didn't happen. And to add on to that, a regular Z-Ring will not work with Ultra Sun and Moon. That being said, a Z Power Ring does work with Ultra Sun and Moon, but when you equip Z Crystals, nothing happens. Moving now on to actually doing the Z moves, let's put Solgaleo in our slot 1. Take out. So this will be what happens if you have... so now, since there's no crystal in it, we're going to do a Z move. Let's do it. Time to battle. Solgaleo. Fight. Z move. Inferno Overdrive. So it lights up red, because it's the Fire EMZ we're using. There we go. So now we're going to put in the Fire EMZ crystal. And we're going to do it again. We got a little Mary. We're going to crush this thing. So we're going to fight the power. Lights up red, because it knows it's the Fire EMZ. So the only difference for regular Z crystal is that the crystal lights up and there's a little bit more sound, which is cool. Putting on, we're now going to do Lycanroc with Z crystal in its horizontal position. So equip Lycanroc. So this is Fight, Z move, lights up green, but it is noted there is no emblem. And yeah, just like now. So, sometimes when there's no emblem, the crystal just won't respond at all. It can respond. It's just one of the times it doesn't. Or it would just be lining up vertically. So we're gonna let's just rotate it, and I'll show you what happens now. That the crystal is in the correct position with the correct Z move. Right. And the poor little Lillipup goes down. So So that is about it for what the 3DS function does. As far as I have found out, there might be more. it might do some stuff with Rado Lotto. I don't know. I haven't tested it that much. As for actually, fitting on my wrist, I have a relatively small wrist, so it does actually fit relatively snug. The band is too small for me, which is nice. It's not breaking popping off anytime soon, which, because of wear and tear over time with the white one, putting it on, and if I flex, it'll just pop like that. So it might be because it's new, it might be because of the material, but overall, this is staying on my wrist, which is nice. So my final thoughts on the Z Power Ring. Yes, it is better than the regular Z Ring. They've upgraded it. They've made it better. That off switch, definitely a plus. The lights and sounds are really cool. But should you buy this? For the casual player, no. For the collector or the cosplayer who, wants to have all the Z crystals in his collection, yes. It's my way of saying, hey, I've got all the badges, I've completed the trial. When, I cosplay, so I really, really like it. The fun part, what I like to do when I mess with my friends, is I actually do this. Because the Rado Lotto lets you do now 2 Z moves. I can do 2 Z moves! / Mega Evolution. Mega Evolve 20 times. That is about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe. As I see you next time when we review the Solgaleo, Lunala, and Kommo-o Z crystals. This has been Roxas, signing off.